What's good, everybody? Today, I have something very special for you. This tale is torn straight from the book, More Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark by Alvin Schwartz, narrated by yours truly. Before we dive in, I want to send a special thanks for those recently joining the Elevated family. Enough of the body digging, let's jump right in. This tale is known by Somebody Fell from Aloft. To some, it may be a distant story, but to me, this one strikes deep. I had signed on as an ordinary seaman on the Falls of Ettrick, a merchant ship bound for England. The first time I saw that ship, I knew her right away. She was the old Gertrude Spurshoe. I had sailed on her years before when she was painted brown and gold. Now she was painted black and had a new name, but it was the same ship, for sure. We had a pretty good crew for that voyage, except for one hard-looking ticket named McLaren. He was a pretty good seaman, if you ask me, but there was something special about him, something off-putting that I just couldn't bring myself to trust. He was kind of secretive, kept mostly to himself. One day, somebody told him that I worked on the old Gertrude, and for some reason, he got all a tremble over that. Then I catched him giving me all these ugly black looks, as if he was itching to knife me in the back. I guess it had something to do with the Gertrude, but well, I didn't know that. Well, this one day, we was trying to work our way through a dripping black fog. You'd scarcely know we had all the lights on, and it was dead calm. There wasn't a breath of fresh air. The ship just lay there wallowing in a trough, a rolling and a rolling, going absolutely nowhere. I was standing by my watch around midships, and McLaren was doing his trick at the wheel. The rest of the crew was scattered around one place and another. It was as quiet as it could be. Then all of a sudden, wacko! This thing hits the deck right in front of McLaren. He lets go a screech that turns my blood cold, and he falls down in a quick faint. The second mate starts yelling that somebody has fallen from aloft. Laying out there just forward of the wheel was someone or something dressed in oilskins with blood oozing out from underneath. The captain ran and fetched a big light from his cabin so we could see exactly just what it was. They kind of straightened him out to get a good look at his face. He was a big, ugly-looking devil, but nobody knew who he was or what he was doing up there. At least nobody was saying anything. When McLaren came to from his faint, they tried to get something out of him. All he did was jabber away and keep rolling those big, wild-looking eyes of his. Everybody was getting more and more excited. We all wanted to heave the body overboard as quick as we could. There was something weird about it, as if it wasn't real. But the captain wasn't so sure about getting rid of it that way. Could it be a stowaway, he asked. But the ship was so full with lumber we were carrying, there was no space where a living thing could hide for 3 weeks, which is how long we had been out. Even if it was a stowaway, what was it doing aloft such a dirty day? There was no reason for anyone to be up there. There was nothing to see. Finally, the captain gave up and told us to heave him overboard. Then nobody would touch him. The mate ordered us to pick him up, but nobody made a move. Then he tried coaxing, but that didn't do any good. Suddenly, that loony McLaren starts yelling. I handled him once, and I can handle him again. He picks up the body and staggers over the railing with it. It is just about to throw it overboard when it wraps its two big long arms around him, and over they go together. Then on the way down, one of them starts laughing in a horrible way. The mates are yelling to launch a boat, but nobody could get into a boat, not on a night like that. We threw a couple of life preservers after them, but everybody knew they wouldn't help. So that was it? Or was it? The first chance I had to go home after that, I went right over to see old Captain Spurshoe, who was captain when the Gertrude was around. Well, he says, one trip these two outlandish men shipped aboard the Gertrude. One was McLaren, the other was a really big fella. The big one was always picking on McLaren and thumping around him, and McLaren was always talking about how he would get back at him. Well, this wet, dirty night, the two of them was up there alone, and the big one came flying down, killed himself deader'n a herring. McLaren says the foot rope they were using parted and how he almost fell himself. But everybody who saw that rope knew she didn't give away on her own. She had been cut through with a knife, I was sure. After that, whenever we came into Port McLaren, thought we were going to get the police after him, and he'd get pretty scared. But we couldn't prove anything, so we didn't even try. In the end, I guess the big fella took care of things in his own way. If he was a ghost that came back, that is what he was. If there be things like ghosts, that is. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I believe this is case in point. You should never attest that of the captain's discretion. I will see you all later. Stay elevated. Stay you.